A home is more than just a place. It's a foundation. It's where our bonds were forged, our values were built, and where our futures truly began. For every LaSalle Green Hills alumni, that home remains within us. The LSGHAA is a union of former students, strong in faith, committed to serve, and united as one in communion. Our mission is to identify, support, and create advocacies that reflect our core LaSallian values. We serve as the bridge to the LaSallian community in the Philippines and around the world. We are a community that shares best practices, striving to be a premier union that actively promotes faith, service, and communion. Reconnect, serve, lead. Join the LaSalle Green Hills Alumni Association today and become our lifetime member. Animo LaSalle. A home is more than just a place. A home is more than just a place. It's a foundation. It's where our bonds were forged, our values were built, and where our futures truly began. For every LaSalle Green Hills alumni, that home remains within us. The LSGHAA is a union of former students, strong in faith, committed to serve, and united as one in communion. Our mission is to identify, support, and create advocacies that reflect our core LaSallian values. We serve as the bridge to the LaSallian community in the Philippines and around the world. We are a community that shares best practices, striving to be a premier union that actively promotes faith, service, and communion. Reconnect, serve, lead. Join the LaSalle Green Hills Alumni Association today and become our lifetime member. Animo LaSalle.
And we're coming to you from the Upper Deck Sports Center East in Pasig City as we bring you the 26th EcoOil One LaSalle Alumni Basketball League presented by Smart Sports, co-presented by Puso Pilipinas, also brought to you by Feel Great System, Frankie's New York Buffalo Wings, Jerry's Grill, Titan, Blue Fire LPG, and Star Margarine. Organized by Kings of the Court and Sports Plus PH in partnership with the LaSalle Green Hills Alumni Association. This is our penultimate match here on this court in our featured court of the day, 6100 facing Fresco PGMC. And earlier we just witnessed a technical free throw knocked in by Ian De La Torre as Fresco PGMC are only playing with 5 players in this ball game. Fresco PGMC wearing the all green kits while 6100 wearing their white tops with green shorts. We're about to get things started now, and the ball is up and we are underway. 6100 getting first possession to start this one. They feed the ball down low to Rodel Canino. They send it out. Elbow 3 missed by Brandon Regalado, part of the starting unit together with Joey Arguelles and aforementioned Ian De La Torre. Another 3 this time by Nicolas Angeles, who misses that one. Now De La Torre. Elbow 3 on the way. Too strong. Rebound. Joey Arguelles. 14 on the shot clock. Regalado. Left-handed finish to no avail. James Calleja with the rebound. And now Angeles, the show and go. Throws the ball away on that pass intended for James Calleja. So you got Rakmed Simatu, Romano Santos, James Calleja, joined by Nicolas Angeles. Down low and a miss for Rodel Canino. Great read of the passing lane there by Brandon Regalado. Regalado drops it off for Canino, and Canino with a left-handed finish for the first field goal of the ball game for 6100. 3-zip start for 6100 as the day is starting to wind down on this April 12 evening. Sunday, of course, is One LaSalle Alumni Basketball League Day for a lot of our LaSallians from all across different campuses around the Philippines as they converge here in Metro Manila for the action here in the EcoOil One LaSalle Alumni Basketball League. 2 minutes down here in the first period, and Fresco PGMC has yet to find the bottom of the bucket. Shot clock down to 12. They feed it at the baseline. Elbow 3 on the way. Nicolas Angeles misses. Second try here for Fresco PGMC. Rafael gave it up here to Angeles. Left that 3-pointer short. Arguelles going downhill, and Arguelles missing that shot. That off balance jumper earlier. 7:20 left here in the opening period, and it's still a 3-point lead for 6100. Ian De La Torre stops. Couldn't knock in that straightaway 3. John Rafael feeds the ball forward to Romano Santos, and Santos with that lefty finish for the first 2 of the ball game for Fresco PGMC. Calleja gets a steal. Chance for Fresco PGMC to take the lead for the first time this evening. They go to Angeles, now to Santos, back to Calleja, spins, kicks it out again. They swing it. Rafael badly misses that jumper off to the right. Now here comes 6100 on the run. 4-on-4 attack, and Rafael reads the passing lane well. Near counter steal, but here comes the attack by Calleja, and see you later. And Fresco PGMC takes the lead for the first time today. 6100 has yet to taste victory in this season, as Joey Arguelles knocks in his first two off the ball game. 6100 coming off back-to-back losses to TAD and Batch 2005 in their opening two assignments. Fresco PGMC getting their first win against TAD last March 29, 76 to 61. Five minutes and 33 left here in the opening period, and Simatu at the free throw line for two. First free throw is short. And by the way, as a result of the near forfeiture of this ball game earlier, Fresco PGMC burned their two timeouts here in the first half. Rodel Canino gets the feed inside and the score as well. Down to the last 5 minutes of the opening period. Rafael sends it over to Nicolas Angeles, short on the three. Simatu, offensive rebound. They go to Calleja, down low, but butterfingers that basketball. Ryan Nabor feeds Joey Arguelles, right-handed finish. 6109, Fresco PGMC 4. Calleja misses down low, second try, finally trickles in. 96 in favor of 6100, and Ian De La Torre gets the feed from Ryan Nabor for the score on that inside hand finish. 6100 in control of this one, up by 5, 11 to 6 as we approach the final 4-minute mark of the opening period. Calleja stepping through, gets rejected from behind by Rodel Canino, and we got a timeout called by 6100 with 3 minutes and 54 remaining here in the opening period. And we'll be back as we take a look at this EcoOil replay on that driving play courtesy of Joey Arguelles. Action continues here in the 26 EcoOil 1 La Salle Alumni Basketball League, presented by Smart Sports and co-presented to you by Puso Pilipinas. 6100 leading Fresco PGMC 11 to 6. Entering the ball game for the first time, Vince Cabangal rattles in that jumper to make this a 7-point advantage for the alumnus of I believe it's University of Saint La Salle of Bacolod, hence the team name 6100. Second try is good for Romano Santos down low. That back to a 5-point ball game. That's an air ball whiffed up by Kevin Camato. Second try, Ian De La Torre. Here's the attack there from Fresco PGMC, and a foul drawn against 6100. Jumper from the left baseline rattles out by John Rafael, but the putback as well missed by Rahmed Simatu. De La Torre Closely marked here. Give it up. Canino from just outside the free throw circle. Won't fall through. Fast break attack here by Nicolas Angeles. They drop it off for Simatu with the inside hand finish. Down to the last 2 minutes of the first period of play. De La Torre, quick trigger three, short, and Vince Cabangal gets the offensive board. They go to Canino, high off the glass. The bank is open late on a Sunday. It's already almost 8 in the evening here in Pasig City. Drive to the basket is good for Fresco PGMC's Romano Santos. De La Torre swings it. Cabangal. Straightaway three. Bingo time for 6,100. My oh my. We are down to the last minute and 12 of the first period. And lucky break there for Fresco PGMC. Oh, a near stop right there made by Fresco PGMC. As we are down to the last 57 seconds of period number 1. High off the window and in for Vince Cabangal. Angeles sends it over to Rahmet Simatu. Simatu back to Angeles. Straight away three. No. Rodel Canino with a rebound. Quick outlet pass. Vince Cabangal. One-hander off the window. Swack sealed with a kiss. Using the window. 20 seconds left. Shot clock is off. Or should we say identical. Nearly identical here for Fresco PGMC. That was Nicolas Angeles trying to slalom through the defense but fails to finish what he started. Ian De La Torre with a give and go at the buzzer, and that won't count even if it went in. That'll be the end of the first quarter of action. And that is a 10-point advantage here for 6,100 over Fresco PGMC. As we take a look at our EcoOil replay of that last action. That's a see you later move courtesy of Vince Cabangal. After one, 24 to 14, 6,100 leading Fresco PGMC. The 26 EcoOil One Salle Alumni Basketball League presented by Smart Sports is co-presented by Puso Pilipinas. Also brought to you by Feel Great System, Frankie's New York Buffalo Wings, Jerry's Grill, Titan, Blue Fire LPG, and Star Margarine. Organized by Kings of the Court and Sports Plus PH in partnership with the LaSalle Green Hills Alumni Association. 6,100 leading Fresco PGMC. To be exact, the 5-man strong Fresco PGMC, 24 to 14. My name is Diego De La Paz, bringing you the action from courtside here at the Upper Deck Sports Center East in Pasig City. And it's a quick 5-0 run for Fresco PGMC to cut their deficit in half. Great read of the passing lane right there coming from Jean Rafael, but his defensive stop just went awry there as it went out of bounds. Kickball violation called against James Calleja fresh 14 on the shot clock here for 6100 off the inbound. Too quick of a jumper for DG Mendoza. Fresco PGMC now on the rack attack. Simatu nearly had his pocket pick right there, but misses. Now here comes the attack by 6100 and a miss by Jay Agulan. Calleja now on offensive by his lonesome, badly missing on that one. Now 6100 slowing things down. He sent it over to Kevin Camato. Tries to raffle off a three but misses. A little bit of overpassing right there for 6100. Seems like nobody wanted to take the shot earlier. 7 minutes and 44 left here in the second quarter. Rafael sends it over to Nicolas Angeles. Three-pointer off target. Simatu on the reset. Trickles in that jumper. Down to a 3-point ball game just like that. .6,100 led by as much as 10 points after that first quarter of play. And now here comes Nicolas Angeles. Feeds the ball to Santos down low with that inside hand finish to make this a 1-point ball game. Or check that, just a 3-point ball game rather, 24-21. Agulan throws the ball away. Here comes the attack. Angeles inside hand finish. 6,100 in a world of trouble now as they're down by 1 point, 25-24, and that will change the complexion of this one as we take a look at this replay brought to you by EcoOil. That's steel and the see you later courtesy of Nicolas Angeles. Be back in a moment. Action continues from inside the Upper Deck Sports Center East in Pasig City for your 26th EcoOil 1 LaSalle Alumni Basketball League presented by Smart Sports. 6,100 played with fire right here and allowed Fresco PGMC a 5-man strong lineup at that to get this 1-point advantage, 25-24. And looks like the shock troopers, or should we say the starters, coming back into the fold for 6,100 as they wouldn't want to allow this Fresco PGMC lead to balloon. Now at 2 points after that first free throw by Nicolas Angeles. 1 out of 2 from the line makes this a 2-point lead for Fresco PGMC. Ian De La Torre back in the lineup after a short spell on the bench. They send it to Lazaro. 3 off to the left. Rebound secured by Romano Santos. And there's a take foul given up by Ian De La Torre to stop that fast break from materializing. Gives up that holding foul on Nicolas Angeles. Shot clock at 19 here for Fresco PGMC. Fall away jumper won't go through for Romano Santos. Counter attack here for Vince Cabangal. Cabangal drops it off. Canino down low. That's Rodel Canino, adding more to his total tonight. 8 points, 5 rebounds, and 1 assist in this ball game. Rafael sends it down low. A bevy of white shirts bothering the shot, and great recovery coming from James Calleja, and he will be sent to the line for a pair of freebies. James Calleja short on the first foul shot, possibly to break the tie, currently at 26 apiece. Calleja makes 1 out of 2 to give the 1-point lead back to Fresco PGMC. De La Torre. He sent it down low. Regalado on the kick out pass. Too strong. Santos feeds the ball. Oh, and what a hard drive to the basket for Nicolas Angeles. Getting the hoop, the harm, the 3-point play the hard way. It's going to be a 3-point advantage for Fresco PGMC. Bonus free throw. Couldn't connect. Lead stays at 3 for Fresco PGMC, which I believe is the largest they've had tonight. Angeles. Pinoy step. Drops it off for James Calleja. New highest advantage for Fresco PGMC. And now 6100 forced to this timeout with 4 minutes and 36 remaining here in the second quarter as we take a look at this EcoOil instant replay, the drop off to James Calleja coming from Nicolas Angeles. We'll be back in a moment. '26 EcoOil 1 LaSalle Alumni Basketball League presented by Smart Sports continues with action between 6100 and Fresco PGMC. And what's interesting here in this matchup, Fresco PGMC only sporting a 5-man lineup and nearly losing this game via forfeit, giving 6100 a run for their money. Currently leading by 5 points, 31-26, as we approach the final 3 minutes of the first half. Romano Santos. And the steal completed by 6100. Ian De La Torre drops it off, and a nifty find to Vince Cabangal for the deuce. Santos goes downhill, decides to kick it out. Nicolas Angeles now to Calleja, long 2. Won't go in. They go back to Calleja. Nice dive to the basket and great recognition from Romano Santos. 33-28. Regalado. Lazaro step through. What a play for Carlo Lazaro. Second leading scorer this season for 6100 at 11 points per ball game, making his presence known in that last play. But Rahmed Simatu diving to the basket, making that floater in the paint. 5-point advantage once more for Fresco PGMC, trying to end their window 1 assignments on a 2-1 record and keeping possibly 6100 winless. Brandon Regalado for 3. Yes, sirree! And it's bingo time for 6100. It's down to a 2-point advantage for Fresco PGMC. The question is, how long can they sustain this kind of energy and rally, especially facing a full tank 6100 lineup? Baseline drive, and the pass went to no one and picked up by 6100. Ian De La Torre with that slow step. And if you would watch videos from MDW basketball, that is not a traveling violation that Fresco PGMC players were trying to shout at. It doesn't mean that it's a weird move, that it's immediately a traveling violation. Jean Narim Rafael missing that jumper, and a chance for 6100 to regain the lead. And Vince Cabangal gives back 6100 the advantage by 2. Santos trying to tie this one. Misses. And now Ian De La Torre to make it a 5-point lead. Left it short. Lazaro, offensive board, left-handed score, makes this a 4-point lead for 6100. What a rally to keep Fresco PGMC at bay. Under a minute left here in the second. Angeles, rack attack, left-handed finish, won't drop. Here's the counter by 6100. Ian De La Torre, ho! Played decoy and feeds Vince Cabangal, who was rim running and scores down low. 25 seconds left here in the second. Simatu, the drive and kick, corner 3. 2 bounces and out for Nicolas Angeles. Second try, missed by Romano Santos, but on the third try, James Calleja was a jolly good fellow, which nobody can deny. But a spin and finish for Brandon Regalado extends the 6100 advantage. And Nicolas Angeles misses at the buzzer to make this a 43-37 lead for 6100 at the intermission. Don't go anywhere. We got second half of action between 6100 and Fresco PGMC as we take a look at this EcoOil replay that feed to a cutting Rodel Canino earlier. And we'll be back with more action in just a moment. Third quarter of action now underway between 6100 and Fresco PGMC here in the 26 EcoOil 1 Salle Alumni Basketball League, presented by Smart Sports and co-presented by Puso Pilipinas. Also brought to you by Feel Great System, Frankie's New York Buffalo Wings, Jerry's Grill, Titan, Blue Fire LPG, and Star Margarine. Organized by Kings of the Court and Sports Plus PH in partnership with the LaSalle Green Hills Alumni Association. 6100 leading Fresco PGMC 43-37 at the intermission. And now action has picked up here as we begin the second half of play. Diego De La Paz bringing you the action from courtside here at the Upper Deck Sports Center in Pasig City. After 20 minutes of action, 6100 shooting 48% from the field, 20 out of 41, including 2 out of 15 from the three-point line, while Fresco PGMC shooting 42% from the field. Rebounding battle won by Fresco PGMC, which earlier led by as much as, if I'm not mistaken, around 5 points during the second quarter, which I confirm it was. Assist battle won by 6100 15-10. Points in the paint, even Steven at 32. While second chance points lorded over by Fresco PGMC at 10-6. But these categories, bench points, obviously for 6100, as Fresco PGMC playing only with 5 men, 20-0. And of course, fast break points, 22-16 in favor of 6100. Leading scorers so far for both of these teams, 6100 led by Cabangal with 12, Ian De La Torre with 9, and Canino with 8. While for Fresco PGMC, they're led by Santos with 16, Simatu and Calleja with 9 apiece. Now back into the live action we go. 2 minutes in to the second half, and 6100 operating from left to right. And that's a 3-point air ball for Legarde. And Fresco PGMC pulls 2 points back, courtesy of Romano Santos. Ian De La Torre bricks the 3-point attempt. James Calleja with the rebound. Nicolas Angeles sends it over to Rahmet Simatu. Simatu splitting through the defense. Couldn't make that reverse layup. Calleja operating in the post gets fouled. Rodel Canino returns to the ball game, relieving Carlo Lazaro. First free throw swished by Calleja. James Calleja averaging 11.5 points, 10 rebounds, and 1.5 assists in 27 minutes of action. Now equaling his season average with 11 points tonight. Canino, baseline drive against 2 green shirts. Canino misses the first time around, and Fresco PGMC made sure that he didn't get a second chance. Santos operating down in the paint and scores inside that restricted semicircle. 1-point ball game. Nabor drives right, drops it but throws it away. Angeles one-on-one here against Kevin Camato, misses that layup. And now 6100 on the counter. Arguelles, elbow 3. 1, 2, 3. Joey Arguelles extends his point total this evening. Arguelles now at 7 points tonight. Lefty 3. Angeles rims out that one. 5:35 left here in the third. Nabor throws the ball away. Didn't need a fancy pass like that. Now Ian De La Torre returns for Nabor, and we have a ceasefire on the floor with 5 minutes and 22 left here in the third quarter as we take a look at this EcoOil replay of that 3-pointer earlier for Joey Arguelles. Welcome to your Bing, Bang, Boom moment. Five minutes and 18 remaining here in the third quarter of play. It's down to a 4-point ball game in favor of 6100. Fresco PGMC needed a break, and again, it's not so easy to operate with just 5 players on the floor. And Simatu misses that putback for Fresco PGMC, and the legs starting to give way here for Fresco PGMC. And the jumper, smooth as silk for Vince Cabangal from that right baseline. It's now 53-47. 6-point lead for 6100. Elbow 3 off the mark for Nicolas Angeles. Second try, Rafael. Shovel pass, nice find to Simatu for that jumper inside the keyhole. Back to a 4-point ball game in favor of 6100. Cabangal. Oh, they feed the ball inside. Canino misses from point blank. Pound dribble, second try, off the glass. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy for Rodel Canino. Santos, shovel pass. Gave it up here to Simatu. They go straight away, and James Calleja hits the front rim and goes out of bounds. Joey Arguelles out, and back in comes Carlo Lazaro. Cabangal setting the table. They feed the ball to Canino. The drive and kick, post and kick rather, going to Ian De La Torre, but misses that jumper. Calleja attacking, and it's a blocking foul called. Wow. That was a tough break there for Vince Cabangal, who tried to give up his body on that play. Instead, it will be 2 shots for James Calleja, trying to exceed his season average of 11 points a game. Now with 12 tonight. It's down to a 5-point ball game. Can he make it 4? No, he couldn't. Ian De La Torre tried to get the rebound, but recovered by Simatu. All day to shoot. Yes, sirree! That's Rahmed Simatu cutting this deficit down to 2. Bars. Cabangal. Left baseline jumper off the mark. Ian De La Torre, offensive board. Short on the putback. The second try as well. So that's 3 tries right there for 6100. None of them going down. Lazaro forward to De La Torre. De La Torre drops it off, and off the window goes Vince Cabangal to make this a 4-point ball game. But Calleja cherry picking right there. Rahmed Simatu, recognizing his teammate was open down low. 2-point ball game in favor of 6100. Can they double it? Simatu drops it off for Canino. Overshoots the mark. And now a chance for Fresco PGMC to tie. Simatu feeds Santos. Santos from point blank takes it, makes it. Romano Santos ties this ball game at 57. 2 minutes left here in the third. Cabangal to Canino. Baseline drive. Off the window. For the hoop. The harm. The 3-point play the hard way. And Rodel Canino could make this one a 1-point ball game in favor of 6100 with this free throw. And yes, he does. Or check that, that's now a 3-point advantage for 6100 on that 3-point play conversion. Calleja, the handoff back to Nicolas Angeles. Angeles bobbled the basketball, but it was off the foot of Rodel Canino. 8 seconds on the shot clock for Fresco PGMC, aiming to tie up this ball game with a 3. Simatu, 12 to shoot. Simatu lost the basketball. They go downstairs. Stolen away by Canino. Ian De La Torre. See you later, he says. Right-handed finish to make this a 5-point ball game once more. Rahmed Simatu. Drive and kick to the corner. Nicolas Angeles misses the 3. One more time to Angeles. Can he make this one? Still won't budge. Still won't go down. Under a minute left, and what a steal by Angeles, reading the passing lane properly. James Calleja, and thus the Statue of Liberty on that layup. It's down to a 3-point ball game. De La Torre, baseline drive. Gets the door shut on his face. Kicks it out to Regalado. Rises for 3. Off to the right. And James Calleja gets the rebound. Santos, chance to make this a 1-point ball game. Drops it off. Rockmed Simatu could not get the soft touch to fall in. 12 seconds left. Last shot time. Lazaro pushing it. Ian De La Torre misses the push shot. Shot clock down to 4 seconds. Calleja. They go to Angeles. 3 on the way. No go. And that will end 3 quarters of action. And we got an exciting one here at the Upper Deck Sports Center East. 62-59, 6100 over Fresco PGMC. As we take a look at this replay brought to you by EcoOil. This fast break attack, the Statue of Liberty finish for James Calleja. After 3, 6162, Fresco PGMC 59. Fourth quarter of action now underway here inside the Upper Deck Sports Center East in Pasig City. This is your 26 EcoOil 1 LaSalle Alumni Basketball League presented by Smart Sports and co-presented by Puso Pilipinas. And one more time, Fresco PGMC starts the period with a 3-pointer. It's courtesy of Nicolas Angeles. Joey Arguelles tries to answer back with a 3 of his own to no avail. Now Nicolas Angeles speeding through, feeds Santos. And that passing lane read by Narayan Nabor. And now Nabor pushing the pace. They go downstairs. Carlo Lazaro, baseline shot and in. And it's back to a 2-point advantage for 6100. Rockmed Simatu gave it up here to Romano Santos. Santos gets the hoop, the harm, the 3-point play the hard way. Fresco PGMC just wouldn't go away. We are tied at 64 all. Just a minute in to the 4th and final quarter. Santos hits the banker K-style from the free throw line for the bonus. The 1 LaSalle Alumni Basketball League is also brought to you by Field Grade System, Frankie's New York Buffalo Wings, Jerry's Grill, Titan, Blue Fire LPG, and Star Margarine. And coming up next, by the way, it will be Jiminy Whole Pizza against 6 Eyes in our final game here in our Sunday special. Santos, great patience there, but misses from point blank. That could have extended Fresco PGMC's lead to 3. Scramble for the loose ball, won by 6100. Missed down low by Lazaro, and it will stay with the Bacolod boys. The 1 LaSalle Alumni Basketball League is organized by Kings of the Court and Sports Plus PH in partnership with the LaSalle Green Hills Alumni Association. Ian De La Torre returns to the ball game, replacing Ryan Nabor. And 6100 throws it away. Angeles speeding through. Angeles misses off the glass. Second try here by Simatu. Simatu against the heavy defense of Carlo Lazaro. And Lazaro, like a brick wall, shielding that basket. Reverse layup missed in transition by Brandon Regalado. Now Angeles nearly throws the ball away. Simatu recovers. 15 on the 24. Simatu off the glass and in! Count it! Bonus free throw on the way for Rockmed Simatu. And that last foul tagged on Carlo Lazaro. Three minutes down here in the 4th and final quarter. Can Fresco PGMC put away 6100? Or will we see another resurgence from the Bacolod boys as they try to get their first win of the 26th season? De La Torre, they go down low to Canino, and Calleja was caught with his hand in the cookie jar. Baseline inbound here for 6100. They go to Lazaro. Lazaro draws in closer but misses from point blank. Angeles attacks, but nice drop off to a diving John Rafael. Don't look now, it's a 6-point advantage for Fresco PGMC as 6100 starting to misfire. Santos from point blank makes it an 8-point ball game. Fresco PGMC showing a lot of heart and hustle in this one as we take a look at this EcoOil replay. A great series of moves for Romano Santos to lead to that basket. Fresco PGMC 72, bat 6100 64. Trying to make another comeback against a determined Fresco PGMC who has built an 8-point advantage at the moment, 72 to 64. Calleja, rainbow jumper from inside the keyhole, swishes it in to make this a 10-point ball game, their new highest lead of the match. Canino sends it back. Vince Cabangal knocks in the jumper from the right baseline. Cuts this deficit down to 8. Speedy attack here. Angeles drops it off. And that's Rahmed Simatu making this a 10-point ball game once more. It's off of Rahmed Simatu. Vince Cabangal with that heads-up play. Camato in. And Arguelles out for 6100. De La Torre for 3. Rattles out. Rebound secured by Fresco PGMC's Rafael. Angeles slowing things down. Decides to change speed. Kicks it out for Rafael. The handoff back to Rahmed Simatu from inside the paint. Too strong. Now Cabangal feeds the ball inside. Inside hand finish missed by Kevin Camato. Now here comes Fresco PGMC. The double team on the ball handler Nicolas Angeles. But great release pass. Santos missing from down low. Camato for 6100. Feeds Lazaro. The spin move. Lazaro met the brick wall but was able to adjust and score from inside the restricted zone. (76-68) and a steal by De La Torre. De La Torre misses and the stop there by Rahmed Simatu. Angeles driving left, drops it off to Santos. Calleja down low. 78-68 and 6100 having a hard time to cut this deficit as we take a look at this EcoOil replay. The unselfish play finding its way to James Calleja to extend Fresco PGMC's lead to 78-68. Coming up next in our final game of the evening here at the Upper Deck Sports Center East, it will be Jiminy Hole Pizza against Six Eyes to conclude our action on this Sunday, April 12, 2026. Fresco PGMC nearly lost this game via forfeit, but an amazing showing here in this ball game, showing us they got the fight. If you've heard of the Super 6 in the NCAA with the San Beda Red Lions, well, you should remember this one as the Fabulous 5 for Fresco PGMC. That is, of course, if they survive this one, as we are down to the midnight hours of this battle with 2 minutes and 48 left in the match. Two minutes and 40 left. John Rafael stops on the dime, misses that jumper. Brandon Regalado pushes it forward, and the ball will go back to Fresco PGMC. Ten-point ball game in favor of the five-man strong Fresco PGMC as they try to get win number 2 in 3 games while keeping 6100 winless for the season. As we see John Rafael takes and makes that left wing jumper to make this a 12-point ball game, a new biggest lead for Fresco PGMC. 4-on-5 attack here for 6100, and the score down low courtesy of Vince Cabangal makes this a 10-point ball game once more. A minute and 37 left in the match. Santos. Oh, and he gets rejected by Rodel Canino. Shot clock at 11 for Fresco PGMC. Calleja. And here's a foul called. It will send Brandon Regalado to the free throw line. And we got a ceasefire on the floor with 1 minute and 21 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Don't go away. Back in the action here inside the Upper Deck Sports Center, East Pasig. Regalado misses the first free throw but misses both, and Canino with the putback to make this an 8-point advantage. Simatu having a hard time crossing the timeline against Regalado. Simatu, oh, what a find to a rim running and diving James Calleja. 64 seconds remaining in the ball game, and it seems to be a one ball game here for Fresco PGMC, unless, of course, as they say, a miracle of epic and biblical proportions were to happen and 6100 were to pull off this turnaround with less than a minute remaining. Lazaro hits the first of 2 free throws. Mathematically possible, but with the time winding down, it's going to be tough for 6100 to make a comeback here. Down 9 points, 82 to 73. Rahmed Simatu gets fouled, and it's Regalado giving up that foul. That's just team foul number 2 on 6100. Angeles double teamed, and Angeles gets pushed. That's 3 team fouls on 6100. So one more foul to give here for 6100 before they enter the penalty. Santos with the inbound. They go to Nicolas Angeles. Angeles with a spin, leaves his defender and gets his shot tapped. Regalado, right-handed finish. 82-75. 28 seconds remaining, 4 seconds difference between game and shot clock. They go to Calleja. Calleja at the front court. Gets a take foul right there from Carlo Lazaro. That was the last foul to give for 6100 in this match. Next foul by 6100 will result in Fresco PGMC heading to the line for free throws. Rahmed Simatu with a basketball and Lazaro giving up the foul. And that's the basket right there for Romano Santos. That will possibly put Fresco PGMC over the hump. With 12.7 seconds left, 6100 will get the dubious distinction of being the only member of Group 16 here in Window 1 to go winless. Your final score, Fresco PGMC moves up to 2-1 for the season and keeping 6100 winless in 3 games. Your final score, 75-84, 84-75 in favor of Fresco PGMC. Your top performer for Fresco PGMC in this one, in an unbelievable upset. That would be Romano Santos, the leading scorer, 29 points, 9 rebounds, and 8 assists with 1 steal. While Rahmed Simatu, 24 points, 13 rebounds, 5 assists, and 1 block. Coming up next in our final game of the day here at the East Court of the Upper Deck Sports Center, Jiminy Hole Pizza taking on 6 Eyes as we continue action here in the 26th EcoOil 1 LaSalle Alumni Basketball League, presented by Smart Sports.